Hey guys, my name is Em and welcome back to the start of a brand new video. In today's video it is going to be a 24-hour readathon vlog. I am so excited. You know me, you know I love a good 24-hour readathon, and I'm extra excited for this one because I'm hosting this readathon with the amazing Jodie from Vanilla Moon. It is currently Monday the 21st of February and this readathon is starting at 12 p.m. and then going for 24 hours, and I cannot wait to start. So it is currently just about 11 a.m. so I do have an hour to go, but I thought I would open this vlog now, show you my TBR and talk you through my plan for this readathon. So I've actually decided to try a new method of a 24-hour readathon. I've never done this before, but recently I was watching a few readathon vlogs and they did it this way and I feel like it might be a bit more effective. So basically what they do is they set like a timer for 24 hours, but they stop the timer when they're going to sleep or when they're taking like big breaks from reading or like doing something other than reading. So that means that the readathon may go on past midday tomorrow. However, I will actually be getting 24 hours or close to that of actual reading, because usually when I do a readathon I start off really strong, I'm reading loads, and then I go to bed because I cannot function without sleep, and readathons are supposed to be fun, and then I wake up and the readathon is practically over and I don't really have any motivation to continue. So really I've missed out on like half the readathon by sleeping or doing other things. So I'm going to try this method out so that I can actually see how much I'm able to read during a 24-hour period, which I feel like is going to be so interesting to see. So yeah, I am really excited. I'm going to show you my TBR right now and then see how many of these we can get through. So let's get into the TBR. Okay, so the first book up on the TBR is a book that I actually don't really want to read, but I have to read before the end of the month, and it is Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This is the February book club pick for the Besties book club, so I do have to finish it before the end of the month. But after finishing House of Sky and Breath, which is like a high fantasy, I'm not really in the mood to read a sad romance contemporary about like very much real life things. I don't know, I'm just not really in the mood to read this. However, it is very short. It is like 350 pages, but I'm already 80 pages in, so I only have like 200 and something pages left, which I should be able to read fairly quickly. And Colleen Hoover usually does have very fast-paced books that you can read in a day. Then the main book on this TBR that I'm actually really excited to read is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. I don't actually have the third one, but I feel like if I manage to get through even one of these, it's an accomplishment. I definitely won't get onto the third one, but I am so excited to read these. I've been waiting to read these for a 24-hour readathon where I can just binge read them. So I actually don't really know what this book is about. All I know is that this girl has been murdered and everybody knows that the boyfriend did it, but our main character then kind of decides that maybe he didn't do it, maybe there's more to this. So then she starts investigating the murder, and I'm just really interested to see where this goes. I also do feel like this is going to be a very bingeable series. This reminds me very much of Truly Devious, which I'm so excited about because I loved that series so much. So I did start this book back in summer of 2020 and I got 76 pages in, but honestly I don't really remember what happened within those 70 pages, so I will just start it from the beginning again. This is like 450 pages. It is a longer one, and there's also a lot of mixed media in here. Like there's a couple of like case files, text messages, things like that that make the book a lot quicker to read. And then obviously if I do manage to finish that one, I will start on Good Girl Bad Blood. I'm just so excited to read this. I feel like these are the perfect books to read for a 24-hour readathon. Then the final book on this TBR, it's more of like a maybe, but I'm still going to put it on the TBR just in case, and it is Believe Me by Tahira Mafi. This is the final book in the Shatter Me series. It's a novella, so it is very short. It's only like 177 pages or something, and I do also have the audiobook for it, so if I need to like bullet journal or do something that requires not reading, I can listen to the audiobook of this and hopefully finish it really quickly. But yeah, those are the books on this TBR. I mean, it is a lot, it is ambitious, but it also could be doable. It is currently 11:02, so I have less than an hour before the readathon starts. I'm so excited. I'll come back to you at 12 o'clock when the readathon is beginning. It is officially readathon time. I think I'm gonna start with this one and try to finish it as quickly as I possibly can. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be reading, and let's go. Okay, so I just reached chapter 16, which is page 106, and I'm flying through this book, but oh my god, this book is so sad. And if I didn't explain what this book is about, this is basically about Kenna, who was just after being released from prison after serving 5 years for drunk driving that killed her boyfriend. And then she has this baby while she's in prison, and it's taken away from her while she's in prison. And now it's 5 years later, she's released from prison and she's trying to get back custody of her daughter, but nobody wants to give her back custody of her daughter because she's been in prison, and because her daughter DM is being raised by the boyfriend's parents, who obviously are under the impression that she murdered their son, which isn't true because it was an accident, but also it is her fault that he's dead. And the actual empathy that I feel for Kenna, because she has now returned to this hometown, everybody's against her, nobody sees her as a grieving mother trying to get her daughter back, and it just makes me so sad. And now we're finding out about her childhood and her mother, and it's just heartbreaking to read. And the thing with Colleen Hoover is that it's such real heartbreak. Like, I've read devastating high fantasy books where everybody dies and there's war and there's brutality, but it's not the same. But this just feels so real because this is a situation that happens all the time, maybe minus the murder part, and it's really heartbreaking to read. But I'm feeling like just sitting down and reading this nearly all in one sitting, because I know that if I take too many breaks I'm just gonna get sad and not want to continue, so I do want to read as much as I can. Okay besties, it is now 1:20 in the afternoon. We're an hour and 20 minutes into the readathon and I'm so happy with my progress so far. I've brought out the snacks already, but I've sat down since 12 o'clock and just continued reading this. I started on page 83. I'm now on page 166. I'm flying through it. It is literally such a bingeable book. I'm more than halfway through. I'm hoping to just sit down and finish the second half now if that's possible. And as I said earlier, like, I kind of just want to read through it really fast so I don't stop on like a sad bit. I want to get to the ending because I know that Colleen Hoover always has quite happy endings, and then I think I might read a graphic novel. I have literally put my phone on the other side of the room so that I'm not distracted by it. Hello besties, it is quite a bit later now. I had to go do some grocery shopping, and then afterwards I actually ended up going to my grandparents' house, so I did miss out on a couple hours of reading, but I actually paused my timer while I did those things because I knew I'd be a while. So it's actually 8:30 now and I have just finished my first book of the readathon. I finished Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. I don't really know what my thoughts are on this book, honestly. It is not one of my favorite Colleen Hoover books that I've ever read. I think this is like my 5th Colleen Hoover book. Honestly, I'm not really sure how to rate it, but I am really proud of myself for reading like literally this whole thing today. I don't know, I felt like everything was a bit rushed in this, and like every relationship in here, all of the things in here were a little bit rushed. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I'm going to talk more about it on the live show for the book club discussion. But yeah, I think that this is going to be either a 3.5 or a 4-star. I'm leaning towards 4-star because I did really like it and I did tear up at multiple parts. It was very emotional. It did what it said on the tin, but like it wasn't giving me exactly what I needed. I didn't love it. I wasn't obsessed with it, but I did like it. But now I've got 19 hours left of reading and I think I'm going to maybe read a quick graphic novel and have like a cup of tea with my mom, and then I think I'm going to start A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I'm actually buddy reading with Jodie, which is so exciting. And yeah, this is like a 450 page book. We're gonna see if I can finish it, but I feel like I can. But my plans for tomorrow actually have changed a bit because it is my mom's birthday on Saturday, but she's working at the weekend, so we're gonna do something fun tomorrow. So we're going into town, we're gonna have like a nice self-care day, we're gonna get our nails done, we're gonna get like our eyelashes and our eyebrows done and things like that. So it's gonna be a very nice relaxing day. We're also gonna go to the cinema and go out for dinner and things like that. So I'm not sure how much I'm gonna get read, but I will try my best to finish A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. But yeah, right now I'm gonna read a graphic novel. I'm not sure which one yet, but I will update you. Okay besties, it is now 9:15 and I have finished another book. I finished Moonstruck volume 1, which was a graphic novel that I read on Scribd, and I honestly didn't really like it. The plot was extremely confusing and just not very well developed. Like, I honestly didn't really know what was happening. There was just people being thrown everywhere and like different things happening. So I gave it a 2-star. The only thing that redeemed it is the characters were really cute, the 3 main characters, and then there was a lot of queer rep as well, which is always a winner. But other than that, it had nothing going for it, so I gave it a 2-star. I'm gonna read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I have my Grinch bookmark here ready to go, and Jodie is gonna start this now too, and I'm so excited to see how I feel with it. I will update you hopefully before I go to bed with my final reading update. besties. It is now Thursday morning. I honestly can't remember the last time that I spoke to you, but a few things have happened in between the last time that I've spoke to you. Readathon did get sidetracked, but I'm actually continuing it on today because, as I said before, I did set a timer for the 24 hours and I actually had 16 hours left as of today, so I'm continuing that readathon today. But first of all, let me just talk you through my week and what has kind of happened and why this readathon is a little bit delayed. On Tuesday, me and my mom actually went out for the whole day. We got our nails done together. These are the nails that I got done. I really like them. And then we went out for dinner. We went to get our eyebrows and our eyelashes done, and then we went to the cinema. So we had a really nice day out. We went to go see Marry Me, which is the new Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson film, and we just had a really nice day for her birthday. And it was also kind of for my birthday because we couldn't celebrate for my birthday because there was like COVID and restrictions and things like that, so it was like a dual birthday day and we had lots of fun. But then yesterday we found out the really sad news that my childhood dog Pip actually passed away. He was 14, he was so loved, and I don't really want to talk too much about it because I will cry, and I know that when I'm editing this I don't want to keep bringing it back up. But yeah, it was very difficult because we got Pip when I was 3 and I genuinely never remember any time in my life that he was not there, so that was very difficult and very upsetting. So that was yesterday. I didn't read anything. I was just kind of upset. Thank you all so much for your gorgeous and lovely messages that you sent me on Instagram because that was really nice. He was very loved, he always will be, and that's all I'm going to say on that. So this morning, as I said, I decided to continue with the 24-hour readathon because after a couple of really busy days I just kind of need to do absolutely nothing and just read. And then this morning when I woke up it was actually snowing, so it was kind of perfect, you know, stay in, read, literally do nothing all day while it's snowing. Now the snow has all melted and it is not currently snowing, but at least we had those vibes when we woke up. So I currently have 14 hours 38 minutes left because I have actually been reading all morning, and I'm so excited to tell you about the book that I'm reading. So the book that I'm reading is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is the first book in this series, or trilogy I should say. This is actually really interesting and really intriguing. Now the one thing is that the main character's name in this book is Pippa, which is obviously shortened to Pip, which is my dog's name that left us, and that was a little bit hard. I didn't know if I was going to be able to continue reading the book right now because I didn't need to see the name 50 times on one page, but I'm actually really hooked on it now and I kind of don't even see the name when it's written down, so I'm still reading it. I'm currently on page 176. I have read so much already today and I'm actually loving it so much. This is like a YA mystery thriller where our main character Pippa Fitz-Amobi is like investigating and doing this school project on this missing persons case that took place in their town like 5 years earlier with this girl called Andy Bell who was allegedly murdered by her boyfriend Sal Singh, but nobody was ever found, and then Sal ended up taking his own life, and basically everybody is just like, yeah, he did it, that's it, that's the one, he was the boyfriend, he did it. But Pippa doesn't believe that Sal did it, so she kind of uses her school project as an excuse to go around and find out answers and everything, and she teams up with Sal's brother Ravi. They're investigating everything together and I'm really interested to see where this goes. I think YA mysteries and thrillers as a whole are usually very predictable, very easy to read, very kind of like underwhelming a lot of the time, but this one actually feels a lot different. I am really hooked. I don't really know what is going to happen or what has happened in like this murder, but it's so interesting because there's so many characters in here, there's so many suspects. We're finding out different things about Andy every chapter, like maybe she's not like this good girl that everybody thought she was, because at the moment I genuinely can't predict who is to blame for this, or like if it's gonna pull a PLL and she's not even gonna be dead. I don't know, but I'm genuinely intrigued and I just keep moving through this so fast. So I am hoping to finish this book today. It should be possible for me, but we're just gonna see how it goes. And also what I love about this book is it's told in like mixed media. Like there's a lot of text messages pages, there's a lot of like interview format pages, a lot of like document pages and things like that, so that makes it even quicker to read because some of the pages are like dialogue, and it's just like a very immersive experience. experience reading this because you feel like you're trying to solve the murder with her. The one thing or critique I will say about this book is that she is literally just a 17-year-old girl doing a school project, but she's acting like a detective or something like that. And the funny thing is, like, she's going around and interviewing all of these people that knew Andy, and like she's been told not to do this. She's been told that it would be really insensitive and unethical of her to interview people close to the deceased on either side, like if it was Andy or Sal, but she's basically ignored all of that and gone and partnered up with his brother. But the funny thing is about this book is that she is literally just a 17-year-old student, and she's going around interviewing all of these people that Andy used to know and that Sal used to know, and that are possibly like murderers or suspects or know some sort of secrets, and they're literally spilling all their secrets to her. And like as soon as she says like, I think I know this secret, then they're just like, they just tell her. And I'm kind of like, you don't actually have to tell her. Like, she has no authority over you. And obviously I'm glad they're saying it because for the book, like, I want to know too, but for believability, like if I was holding like a secret about a murder or about my best friend who had been murdered, okay, I'd tell the police, but like I wouldn't tell a random 17-year-old student that's going around doing a school project. It's just funny, but I'm not focusing on that at all. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading. It is currently 12 p.m. I did get to part 2. My next stopping point will hopefully be part 3, and then I'll update you a bit more. Hi guys. Okay, it is now 2 p.m. and I'm formally announcing that this is now a fan page for all things A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I am loving this book. I have just reached part 3. Oh my god, I only have this small tiny bit left in the book. I cannot believe it. I'm on page 284. There's like 430 pages in the book, I think, so I really don't have that much left. Oh my god, I'm loving this book. I can't even describe it enough. So it took me 3 hours approximately to read from part 2 to part 3, and first of all, the fact that I sat down and read consecutively for 3 hours is an accomplishment of its own. Like, I never do that, but also that means that my pace is averagely a page a minute. I mean, within that 3 hours I did take a few breaks, and like my last update was within that time as well, so it actually probably took me 2 hours of like consecutively reading to get from part 2 to 3, and that was the thickest section because it was 176 pages. I truly don't think I've ever been like as excited by a mystery book or by a thriller book. I don't even know what to call this. Like, is it a mystery? Is it a thriller? It's just a fun time. I don't know, but oh my god. If you know me, I do not read critically. I don't usually think too much into things, and sometimes like when I'm reading with somebody else, usually Sophia, she's the one that comes up with all of the theories and like amazing things that are probably going to happen in the book, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's an amazing theory, but I never think of them myself. And it's so funny because I don't read analytically. I don't know if that's even a word, but like I just read what I'm given. Like, if somebody says something in the book, I take it for what it is until that's not true anymore. That's not to say that I never like predict things in books, like I definitely do, but sometimes like when I'm just like reading a book, I just read it to read it. I don't read it to think too much into it or like try to solve the case before they do. I'm just here for the vibes. I don't know what's gonna happen. I am so shocked by something that was just revealed on the last page. Like, I knew that these two people were suspicious. I didn't know what they were suspicious about. I thought it was something to do with the main thing, but it turns out they were suspicious about something else. But I was right with the suspicion. How many times am I going to say suspicious in this reading update? But I'm wired because I've sat down since like 10 o'clock this morning and read this fucking book, and I don't know what to do with myself. Like, it's 2 p.m. and I have barely left my room. Depending on the ending of this book, this is well on the way to becoming a 5-star read. Definitely on the way to becoming like a favorite series. Holy shit, I am loving it so much. So I do have some theories. One of my theories is that Andy is not dead and that she's the one orchestrating this whole thing. Because you know what? I watched Pretty Little Liars. I watched the Alison De Laurentiis storyline with my own 2 eyes. I know that that's a plot that people like to use. Will I be mad about it if that's the ending? I think it's a bit predictable, but honestly, no, I won't be that mad because it's been a fun time. It's been a great time. It's been a fun book and I've enjoyed the experience. But I have another theory for somebody that could possibly be involved, but I can't say anything. I don't know, I just don't want this person to be involved at all, but I have a feeling that they might be, because it's always the person that is never a suspect that ends up being the thing. Like, it's somebody that they've brushed over the entire book that's gonna end up being the thing, right? Like they're not, that's like realistically, if I'm reading this, like I know if they tell me that it's somebody, it's not going to be that person, not with 200 pages left. Like that's not going to be a thing. This is my new obsession. This is a lifestyle. This is a way of life. This is a religion. What can I say? Oh my god, I just can't wait to finish it. It's actually 2:15 now. I've been talking for way too long. I'm probably going to take a little break and maybe watch like an episode of Superstores just to kind of like give my eyes a break, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I do have a bit of a headache coming on. But that's okay, we power through because this is for a readathon. I'm hopefully going to finish it like as soon as possible. The only thing is, the ending of mystery books and thriller books are always the scariest. And right now, I'm home alone. I was not home alone for the whole day, but now I am. And I don't know how that's gonna go down. So I think I'm gonna move into the living room so I'm more central within the home, and I'm going to use Misty for protection. You know, she's my guard cat, obviously. I'm just feeling very chaotic. I'm like, what else can I do? What else can I read? Okay, so I'm gonna shut up now because I'm too wound up. This is what happens when you read like a 400-page book in one day. After I finish reading these, I think I'm gonna start watching One of Us is Lying because it just came out on Netflix. Didn't like the book at all. I think I DNF'd that like 4 years ago, whenever it came out, I don't know. But I am going to watch the TV show and it's going to give me these vibes, hopefully, within a TV show. Is this becoming a TV show? I don't know, but there's so many books. Is this upside down? Oh my god. Okay, this book was upside down the whole time that I was talking. Ignore it. This is exactly what I needed to read right now. It's hooking me. It's grabbing me. It has me by the throat. Is it 100% realistic? No, because there's a 17-year-old student going around like investigating a fucking murder and following drug dealers into their house. Okay besties, it is now 12:30 in the night. I finished A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I actually finished this one at around 8 o'clock this evening, but I was just really busy and I just kind of forgot to film this update. But I really love this book. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 star. I think that this was the best mystery thriller, whatever you would call this. I think that's the best one that I've ever read. Usually for me, YA thrillers or mysteries in particular, they're just very mediocre for me. They just don't hit as hard. I don't know what it is. They're all just kind of like the same and they just don't have a huge impact on me. They're usually about like a 3 star, if even. But this one was literally incredible. I liked the twist at the end. I think it was something that I didn't really see coming, and I think it was really interesting and a really good conclusion. I loved the characters in this. The way we found out about the case and about everything was so interesting because I genuinely didn't know what was happening, and I suspected so many different people, and literally all of the evidence against people were so insane. And I'm really interested to see what happens in the second book because like obviously there were a couple other suspects who had secrets and had things to do with Andy but that weren't the killer, so I'm wondering will we find out more about their secrets in the second book. So I am now going to bed. I physically cannot stay awake any longer, but I paused my timer because I realized that I do actually want to finish it out properly and see how much I can read tomorrow. So I have 4 hours 56 minutes left on this timer. I'm going to continue this tomorrow and see how much I can read. That is all I have to say for right now because I am exhausted, but I will get back to you tomorrow when I'm reading some more. So far this readathon is actually going really well, even though it was a bit derailed. Hi besties, it is now Friday morning, and before I get into the last 5 hours of this readathon, I actually have some unboxings for you. So I have the February Fairy Loot box, but then I also got an Amazon package delivered, and as far as I know I haven't ordered anything, so let's open it up. No. Okay, so it is a gift. There's no note guys, but the book is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Oh my god. This is the third and final book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I was literally talking about how I was kind of scared to read the second one because I didn't have the third one and I really want to be able to like read all 3 together. Somebody got me this. Oh my god, this is a thick book. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on Instagram now to try and find who sent this to me, but if you're watching this and you are the one that sent this to me, thank you so much. This has actually made my day already. now I'm going to read the second one. Thank you so much. And now we're moving on to the February Fairy Loot box. I'm really excited for this. I do know the book that's going to be in here, and it is one of my most anticipated releases. Okay, so the theme of the month is To the Moon and Back, and this is the beautiful spoiler card. I just know that this is going to be gorgeous. This is what we're currently looking at. Okay, so the first thing I see is a pair of socks, and these are actually inspired by the Starless Sea. Wait, let me flip the camera. Look at her. Okay, we have to let you in. Okay, I had to pause to let Misty in, but yeah, Starless Sea socks. I don't love when socks are an item, but also it's fine, it's cute, it's fun, these are nice. I didn't like the Starless Sea though, so it is what it is. It's a Crescent City pendant. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a Crescent City necklace. That is so stunning. I love Crescent City. Okay, so next up we have this bag. I think this is gorgeous. Tote bag. Oh, look at that. This is actually inspired by the book of the month. So next up we have bookends, like proper metal bookends, and they're like moon kind of design. I actually do have another set of bookends from Fairy Loot last year, and they're amazing. They're such high quality, they're beautiful. I love that so much. And also, like, what an item to have in a box. Like, these are heavy. Okay, and then we have this art print. Something tells me that this is inspired by Wicked Fox, just because of like the nine-tailed fox behind him. Then the last thing before our book is the tarot cards for the month. Oh, this is upside down. We have the Queen and King of Pentacles. Do I know who these people are? I don't. I do not know who these people are. Possibly from Red Rising. No, Red Rising was last month. I don't know. I do not know who these people are. They could pass me in the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Okay, and then finally we have the book. I am so excited for this book. You have no idea. Ooh, okay, interesting. So they have like these dark blue edges. We have the letter from the author. Oh my god, I got a glimpse of it. Holy shit. Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? Oh my god, wait, it's not even focusing properly. Look at that. That is stunning. Look at those edges. So yeah, the book is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this book. The end pages. Wow. Okay, I kind of want to drop everything and read this book right now. I mean, apart from As Good as Dead. I want to read this as well. This is so beautiful. Okay, let's get on to the spoiler card. The Starless Sea socks are designed by Jez Hawk. The Crescent City necklace is designed by Team Fairy Loot. Yeah, it's a Wicked Fox art print designed by CYT_draws. The Moon Goddess tote bag. I love that there's a bag to match the book, and that is designed by Rosie Thorne 88. Then the Celestial bookends are also designed by Jez Hawk as well. Okay, the tarot cards of the month are illustrated by Liz Art _Zardonic, and they feature Mustang and Darrow from the Red Rising series. I've never read that series, I probably never will, but I love that I got it right. Our featured book of the month is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. It's a romantic and sweeping epic fantasy inspired by the legend of Chang'e from Chinese mythology. Say less. I am so excited. Okay, so that is it for this unboxing. I really enjoy unboxing Fairy Loot boxes, and it actually wasn't that long since I got the last Fairy Loot box because the January one was delayed. So I have 4 hours 56 minutes left on the timer. Now that I do have the third and final book in this series, I do think I'm going to move on with the second one and see how much of that I can read in 5 hours. That is all I have to say for right now. I'll talk to you later. Okay besties, so I'm about to start reading, but I honestly don't know what I'm gonna read, because I think at the start of this video I said that I would read Believe Me between the two Good Girl's Guide to Murder books, and this is extremely short and I do have the audiobook for it, so I could theoretically listen to this, but I just have no desire to read this whatsoever. I'm on chapter 5 currently, which is page like 40 or something, and I just don't care. Like, I really don't care about this book, about these characters, about what's happening, and I hate that because I care about these characters so much from the last 6 books that I'm after reading. And the thing is, like, this is supposed to be like the happily ever after novella, and there's supposed to be a wedding in it, but I was speaking to one of my friends who read it and they said that this is the lead up to the wedding, but we never even get to see the actual wedding. Like, what is the point in that? Like, why does she keep cutting off the books just as we want to know what's gonna happen? That makes me so mad, because there better not be more fucking books in this series. I'm sorry, but there's enough. If we don't even get to see like the actual wedding by the end of it, what is this? What is the point of this? Like, is this just seeing the preparation for a wedding that we don't even get to see? What is that about? So I think I'm actually gonna start Good Girl Bad Blood. I'm so apprehensive to start this because I know that once I start I will not be able to stop reading it, and I kind of don't want this series to be over. I mean, I am in the mood to read it, so I think I'm gonna read it. Also, I found out who sent me this book. This was sent to me by the amazing Jodie, the co-host of this readathon. Thank you so much, Jodie, for sending this to me, and we're buddy reading this series together, so love that for us. Hello besties. Okay, it is many days later. It is now Tuesday the 1st of March, so it is exactly a week since the readathon began, and I'm finally coming on here to do the outro for this video because honestly so many things have come up, so many things have happened, and I just haven't been able to finish out this vlog, so I thought I would wrap everything up for you right now. Also, if you made it this far, because I'm very much aware that this is an extremely long vlog, if you made it this far, you're a real one. I love you. So let's wrap up everything that's happened and everything that I read and everything like that. So let's first of all talk about the method of the readathon and what I ended up thinking of that. So as I said before, I did end up setting a 24-hour timer and decided to actually get 24 hours of reading to actually see how much I'm physically capable of reading within a 24-hour period, which it kind of worked because I did manage to read a lot, and you will see that in my full wrap up. Like, I did manage to read a lot, but the downside to it is that it is literally a week later and I finally just finished the last 2 hours of the readathon. So would I say it's effective? Yes, if you actually dedicate a specific day or even 2 days to the readathon, but whereas I ended up pushing it quite a few days because different things came up and I didn't have time to continue with the readathon. But you know what? I had a blast, and I hope that you guys don't mind that this was dragged out so much, because technically it is still a 24-hour readathon because I have gotten 24 hours of pure reading, which is crazy, and the amount that I managed to read is actually shocking. So yeah, to finally round up what I thought of the method, I probably would do it again if I didn't have plans for 2 days straight. I think my issue was that I started out really strong on Monday, but then I had plans the next day and kind of got sidetracked. Also, I would say that if I'm going to do this again, I would not pause the timer for taking breaks for anything other than sleeping, because that's definitely what messed me up as well. Like, I paused the timer when I was like cooking, or when I was like talking to somebody in my family, or like going for a walk. I paused the timer then, which I think in theory I shouldn't have, because I just didn't have enough time to make up on that, and it took me this long to actually get 24 hours of solid reading. But you know what, guys? I was dedicated to the cause, because I genuinely kept this going until I got 24 exact hours of reading in. Are my eyes extremely painful? Yeah, they are, because I've literally been reading non-stop, but it was worth it. I'm really happy with how this vlog turned out so far anyways, and I'm just going to wrap up my reading right now and tell you how much I actually got read. So I started off the readathon with reading Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover, which I rated a 3.5 out of 5 star. I did enjoy this, but it just was not my favourite Colleen Hoover book. It did not hit as hard as her other books have. It didn't have the same vibe, unfortunately. It started out on page 83, so I ended up reading 252 pages of this book, which is still an amazing achievement. Then I read Moonstruck Volume 1, which I actually ended up giving 2 stars to. The only good thing was that it had a lot of queer rep in there. The rest of the book didn't make sense, didn't know what's happening, will not be continuing with the series. But that was 129 pages, I think. Then I read the entirety of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which I buddy read with Jodie, and I had such a good time reading this. I think this is like one of my favorite books of all time, and I was on the edge of my seat with every single page. I talked about this for long enough already, so I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, this is a 5 out of 5 star read. This is like 433 pages, and I read the entire thing start to finish. And then finally, the last book that I finished, that I've literally just finished about 10 minutes ago, that I actually haven't spoken to you about at all, I don't think, because I wasn't vlogging when I was reading the book, but I promise I did stick to the timer and I did read it all within the 24 hours, and that was Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, which is the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. And oh my god, this book is literally incredible. I read this start to finish in like 4 hours. I did split it up over like 2 days, but in total it only took me the 4 hours 56 minutes that you saw on the last clip. I'm obsessed with this book. I'm obsessed with these characters. I'm obsessed with this series. I just love it so much. This had kind of like a podcast element to it, so there was a lot of interviews in here and a lot of like podcast things, and I'm so happy that I managed to finish this. Today I started out on page 170 and I'm literally just after sitting down and reading from page 170 to page 4 or whatever that it finished on. This series is genuinely the most addictive thing in the world. It is so gripping, and I can't understand how fast they are to read. Like, I'm not necessarily a fast reader, but with these books I turn into an Olympic sprinter. Needless to say, 5 out of 5 stars. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. Like, I thought the ending for the first book was a lot better and kind of fit more with what we had learned throughout the book, but that being said, I did still really love it, and yeah, I can't even explain. 5 out of 5 stars. Read the whole thing start to finish, and that book was 413 pages. If you add up all the pages that I read over the 4 books, I actually ended up reading 1,231 pages in 24 hours. That's insane to me. That's a lot of pages, but I'm really happy with how much I managed to read. I think this vlog is practically a movie length, so I hope you enjoy, but I'm not going to talk too much more now. I really hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you made it to the end, comment a mystery emoji, because I read a lot of mystery books in this readathon. I will leave the link to Jodie's channel down in the description box, along with the link to her vlog, because oh my god, it is amazing. The cozy vibes in that are unmatched. And yeah, I am so excited to do another one of these soon, hopefully a bit more organized. Thank you so much for watching. Honestly, this has been one of my favorite vlogs to film, so I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books, if you've read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder in particular. Let me know what you thought. I just love your comments. They make my day. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay amazing, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.